Hi folks, so I'm ready to carry out my investigation into how the temperature of an enzyme affects its rate of reaction. I'll use the procedure shown in the earlier video with the paper discs, but before I begin I need to prepare a table ready for my results, and today we're going to look at how we can use spreadsheets, for example Google Sheets, to do that. Alright, so as you know, scientists have conventions of how they structure tables, and that's exactly the same whether you're drawing it by hand or whether you're using a spreadsheet. So our independent variable will always go in this first leftmost column. And my independent variable, what I'm changing, is going to be the temperature of my enzyme. So I'm going to go ahead and write my heading, and you might be wondering why I'm not starting in the first cell. So these little boxes are all called cells, but I'm starting in the second cell, and that will become obvious in a moment. So my independent variable is the temperature of my enzyme, which is called catalase, and I need to include the units. I can't type a degrees symbol, so I've done a Google search and I can just paste that in. All right. You can actually change the appearance of your table and how the text fits by selecting different things here. I like to have it wrapped so that it doesn't affect my column width, but I can see everything. All right, so next we need space for the data that we're going to collect for our dependent variables, and that's going to go in the next column. But we know as scientists, we very, very rarely only carry out one trial for each of the different values of our independent variable. We need space for repeats, and now you'll see why I didn't put my independent variable in the top box. I'm going to put my dependent variable in the top cell of the next column, and if you've watched the other video, you'll see that that's going to be the time taken for the paper disc to return to the surface. I'd use a stopwatch for that then, so it's going to be in seconds. So now we need space for our repeats. I'm going to carry out each trial, each temperature 3 different times, and then use that to calculate a mean. So if we do 1, 2, 3, and then I have space for my mean. Okay, I am almost ready to go, but before I begin, I already know what my temperatures that I'm going to be using are. This is what I'm changing, and I'm in control of that. I'm going to be using 25 degrees, and then I'm going to go up in 5s. So remember, another convention is that we don't just write our independent variables in random orders. I'm not going 40, 25, 35, 50. We usually write them in ascending order from small to large, and that's going to make it easier for a reader and for ourselves to interpret our table. So 45, and I'm going to go all the way up to 60. All right. Another thing that you will notice, and this is the same whether you're handwriting a table or using the Google Sheets, is we don't put the units into each cell. All that should be in these cells are numbers, okay? This makes it clearer and easier for us to read, and we already know that all of these are going to be degrees Celsius because we've put it at the top in our heading. Another reason why it's so important to remember units in headings and then later on graphs on your labels. Okay folks, so that's how to set up a simple table ready for your results in Google Sheets.